Hi, good afternoon, class. This is your professor for BIO211 for the winter January session from January 3rd to January 24th. The classes will be held on from Monday to Friday. But here is most important thing, that this is an asynchronous session where student is not expected to attend the class. But generally, the winter sessions are held across Mondays to Fridays. So what I meant that classes would be held, what was exactly that there will be office hours from 12:30 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. But please don't get confused this as a live class. This is a asynchronous system. So the time that I have given from Monday to Thursdays is basically office hours. And in this office hours, if you want me to go over the slides, I will go over it. But the most important thing is that everything will be available to you from Monday to Fridays. For example, let's say this course has 12 chapters, then every day one chapter, and then assignment. So as and when we move forward, the structure of this course will be much more clear to you. So my name is, briefly my introduction, my name is Shiraz Mujtaba. I am a professor of biology in Medgar Evers College, which is one of the senior colleges of CUNY system. Had this been an in-person session, then my office is located on 4th floor of AB1 building, which is 1638 Bedford Avenue. But now all of us are asynchronous. So right now I'm at my home, and I believe you're either at home, library, or any place of your convenience. In past, many of the students have attended this session office hours from their work also, which is quite impressive. So since I mentioned to you, this is asynchronous, this is virtual. So here I just put the details of my Zoom meeting, Zoom link. And since few of you are here, so I believe you could access this Zoom link. So again, most welcome to this class. I hope we will have a productive time. Now, before I go into the syllabus, I just want to talk to you about the first assignment that I have posted on the Blackboard. So let me go to the Blackboard, and so let's say if this is the setting of the Blackboard, my setting, your settings will be quite different than mine. So let's say if I'm going here, spring term, biotechnology and society. So when I press here, click this thing, I go here, and once I go to the content folder, you see that introduction. So I have written my introduction, and you need to put your introduction. And the way you do that is by clicking on the thread, and you write your introduction. Now, why this is critical is because this is the first assignment. And by doing this first assignment, you are sort of raising your hand that, yes, I am present in this class. So I will mark you present, and that would reassure verification of your enrollment. So I repeat, when you accomplish or finish this assignment of introducing yourself. So here you see, I just posted around 11:30. Few students have already wrote their introduction. So this serves as a verification of enrollment, that yes, I'm present and I'll be taking this class. Because if a student do not write his or her introduction, it will be taken as that a student is not participating in this class, or maybe not enrolled in this class. And that report, I have to send it to the registrar. So I hope you are listening to my recording and give it a very, give it as a vital priority matter. So going back to content area, I will be posting, I'll be uploading, rather, not posting, uploading the syllabus and the recording of the syllabus in the content folder. So what I would do, I would go to the build content, go to content folder, and here I would put here syllabus.
Professor.
Yeah, I would request that, I'm recording the session. You can hold on to your question, and then I will answer each and every question. So that understanding I appreciate. So syllabus and recording. Or you can put your question in the chat area, because let's see, if I'm asking you to wait, you can put your question in the chat area of the Zoom meeting, and then I will address it when I find time. So you see here, I have uploaded the syllabus, and then I would be, after I finish the recording, I will also be uploading my recording. So here is the syllabus for biotechnology and society. So here is the syllabus, and then I would then, after I finish my lecture, today's lecture, then I will add the recording, so that all the students who are not attending this class at this moment will have access to what I am talking about, the syllabus. So going back to the syllabus. So I believe, let me go over again. So this is the home page of my Blackboard. And this is for winter session. I go to the content area. In the content area, I have created, first of all, you have to write your introduction here. And this introduction is very critical for your verification of attendance that I mentioned earlier. And then, and this introduction should be submitted by January 5th by 11:59 p.m. So you have only 48 days. In a typical semester, people can get 2 weeks, but here, because winter sessions are tight, so you have 48 hours to do your assignment, that is introduction. And then I created a folder, and here I have uploaded the syllabus that I'm covering in this class. So let's go back to the class syllabus. So this is the detail of my Zoom meeting, which you already have seen. Now, so this is a very interesting class, and this is a very straightforward class, which talks about, or which teaches you the fundamentals of biology. And from the fundamentals of biology, it directly goes into the application of biology. So what do I mean here is that fundamental means very basic fundamentals of biology, and then after covering the fundamentals of biology, it goes into applied aspect of biology, And that application, whenever you apply some knowledge, it can be called as technology, right? So, biology has become as you realize that we are in the middle of pandemic, which is very unexpected, as of growing mutants and vaccination and boosters, and then again um, booster. So biology has become very important, and biology not only covers the knowledge, but that knowledge is directly applied to human health and human diseases and the planet as such. So what do I mean by uh, fundamentals of biology is that, for example, let's say atoms, right? Atoms are the building blocks for molecules, and these molecules, they form macromolecules, and some of the macromolecules are proteins, uh, lipids, carbohydrate, and nucleic acid. Now, why I say that this is important? Because let's say nucleic acid could be DNA or RNA. Now, without this knowledge, how would we know that the current pandemic, which is caused by COVID-19, the genetic material of COVID-19 is RNA, right? And the vaccines that we got from Pfizer or Moderna or Johnson and Johnson, especially I'm talking about Pfizer and Moderna because those were those vaccines are mRNA based vaccines, right? Typically, uh, um, uh, historically, vaccines were always protein made, right? Conventional. Now they are, because of the technology and understanding of fundamentals, they are making DNA and RNA based vaccines, right? So although this course will say, BIO211, biotechnology and society, but I feel that this course is most applicable to what we are undergoing right now, right? So that's what I meant, that this course covers fundamentals of biology, but it transits into application of biology. And this century, I mean, you can argue with me left and right, but this century it belongs to biology and healthcare workers. I repeat, this century, this is my prediction, I can be wrong, but I think as a professor, I can talk to you and sort of um, express my understanding that this century, 20, um, this century will be mostly belong to biology. Like last century or last few decades, it belonged to computer science, computational science, and IT. But this going on will become to biology, and biology will marry with computers, biology will marry with mathematics, biology will marry with physics, because let's say if somebody wants to ship vaccines from US to some interiors of some other country which cannot afford vaccine manufacturing, so they have to look into the stability, they have to look into transport. So everything is involved: physics, time, computers, and how. So right now, people are expressing various kinds of symptoms, and it's going into the database. And at some point of time, somebody will analyze how they are. There are so much things, so much information in the system, in the universe, and on the planet about COVID-19 vaccines, and there are so many opinions: vaccination, non-vaccination, emergence of that is coupled to new variants, and so it is. I feel that this course is very important. So let's go back to the syllabus. So biotechnology and society. So what is the course overview? Uh, So this biotechnology and society is a course designed to introduce students to the field of biotechnology and to the application and impact of modern biotechnology on the society, right? So what is Moderna? Moderna is a biotech company. What is Pfizer? Pfizer is also a pharmaceutical company and also a biotech company, right? And they could quickly, especially I'm talking about Pfizer and Moderna, they could quickly make these vaccines is because of their fundamental control or knowledge of nucleic acid, and then providing technology to make millions and billions and trillions of vaccines and booster and so on and so forth. Uh, so history of biotechnology and biotech discoveries uh, influence the field today. So as I mentioned to you, biotechnology is not only restricted to COVID-19 or coronavirus or HIV or human health, but also to genetic modified plants, right? So what is the concept of genetically modified plants? The reasoning is that take advantage of, again, fundamental knowledge of biology, and then engineer plants, that would have more productivity, right? Generate engineer plants more productivity, and they can resist extreme conditions, right? For example, there are many developing countries where where the agriculture is dependent upon weather. Like if there is a rain, then yes, they will have a healthy and hearty crop. But if there is a drought or there is a infestation by pests or by insects, then the whole crop is lost and the whole population suffers. So, again, the knowledge of DNA, RNA, molecular biology is most applicable for making engineered plants, genetically modified plants that would increase the productivity to cater to the growing population. Population is growing, so the demand, the supply, they all have to. So whenever technology comes, so fundamental knowledge leads to technology, and technology leads to economics, and economics come back and determine how well the population is served, right? So let's go back to the syllabus. So that's what I was talking about, the course overview. Okay, so fundamental knowledge is important. So basic concepts of DNA and central dogma. What do you mean by the basic concepts of DNA? So it is meant that to look into that how DNA is made. For example, DNA is made up of double-stranded DNA, but this DNA does what? So this DNA can make RNA, and then RNA can make protein. So I have talked in a very simple way that DNA makes RNA and RNA makes protein, but technically this is not the way it is. So DNA serves as a template for transcription that generates RNA molecule, and then RNA then undergo translation that serves as a template for translation, so a protein is made. So everything is very important. Why? Because let's say if the DNA is bad, then the RNA will be bad, and then the protein will be bad. Then there will be a disease, right? And when you have a disease, then we must understand the why disease is occurring, because unless we understand why and how that particular disease is occurring, we cannot make the therapeutics, or we can't make the vaccines, right? So we will go, so this is called as central dogma of biology. Central dogma means this is a central theme of our biology, that DNA serves as a genetic material. DNA can transcribe, DNA can also replicate, and after transcription, it makes RNA, then RNA then translates into protein. Now, there are exceptions also. Now, what are the exceptions? The exceptions are the viruses. Why I call them exceptions? Because look at HIV. This is an RNA virus. Look at COVID-19 strain. This is also an RNA virus. So, but virus is further complicated. Why do I use the word complicated? It's because HIV has RNA virus, but what HIV does is that HIV can convert RNA into cDNA. So both are RNA virus, but both have a different way of replication mechanism, or the way they multiply inside the human cells. COVID-19, they also have RNA virus, but they cannot make cDNA, they make RNA. Right? So although they are both RNA, but very different way of operation. This retrovirus, they have the enzyme reverse transcriptase, whereas COVID-19 has RNA-dependent RNA polymerase, very different. Both are RNA, so that's the battle with these viruses. They are small. If they get inside our body, they can do many things. And they're very smart that they can use our human transcription and translation machinery. So unless we understand the fundamental knowledge of biology, right, how can we understand these things, right? Whether somebody is sociologist, whether somebody is psychologist, everybody is concerned that, or they want to know more about vaccines, why vaccines are not protective enough, why should I take it? So unless we have all the bundle of information, how we will take a informed decision? So as I mentioned to you, biology has come to the forefront of human health and technology. So let's go back to the syllabus. Right? So it's not only important for human health, for knowledge, important for agriculture, important for vaccines, and many other things. So I would like to cover here what are the course objective. Now, objective of this course is very important because objective is something that is my objective and your objective as well. Because you have come to this class, you have taken this course, and then you want to learn as much as possible. But what are you going to learn, right? And also like I am teaching this biotechnology and society course, how far can I teach, and what should I make sure that you should understand? So that's my objective. So at one point of time, my objective and your objective, it has to cross path and meet to maximize our effort. So first course objective is here. Is discuss the definition of biotechnology that I just did in context of this pandemic. I discuss the definition of biotechnology, that any fundamental concept that you develop into a product, and that product needs technology for manufacturing, and this product can serve the society. So what's the history of biotechnology? The history of biotechnology can go as far as so if you go to many hundred thousands of years back, we never used to be like moving from one place to other place in search of food, right? So at one point of time, the human civilization decided that, we can't move all the time, so we have to settle down. So when the human population settled down, they wanted to settle down closer to water and closer to the soil, because they started using soil as a agriculture, right? And then they started depending upon livestock for their help. So humans, once they stopped moving from one place to other, they became localized. And when they became localized, they started producing crops, agriculture to self-sustain and to depend upon like horses or cows or for milk, and milk and food. So that's how, you know, the once, humans became stabilized, localized, depending upon agriculture, then that's the in subconsciously in the background of their mind, they started the that was the germination or genesis of biotechnology. And what are the fundamentals of modern biotechnology? The fundamentals of modern biotechnology is to scale up. Now, fundamentals of modern biotechnology means to develop platform, right? To develop a pipeline, right, which can accelerate the manufacturing of those products that directly affect human health, whether it is cosmetics, whether it is a drink, or whether it's a vaccine, to make a platform-based technology where things keep rotating and making, in billions and trillions, and generating revenue, helping the companies to grow, so on and so forth. So that's the objective number one, and I'll keep coming back to this objective time and again, and especially in the time of pandemic, where these kinds of knowledge are very important. Point number two: demonstrate the knowledge of basic biology of prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. So, as I mentioned to you, fundamental knowledge of cells are. So, what is the fundamental unit of life? Fundamental unit of life is cells. But there are many kinds of cells in the whole world, right? It could be starting from bacteria, it could be plant cells or human cells. So we will go into the details. And of course, we will compare this we'll understand how, the viruses also they work. Discuss and identify the basic principles and terms of recombinant DNA technology. So the moment you learn about fundamentals of basic biology, we directly go into the recombinant aspect of biology. Recombinant means develop some fusion products that can be scaled up, in some kind of model systems like bacteria or yeast. Okay, because human body cannot produce vaccines, right? We have for making vaccines to global level, we have to take help of extra things, and one of the things could be bacteria or yeast. So that's about recombinant DNA technology. Recent advances in modern biotechnology, some of the application and challenges, as we are seeing the advances of modern biotechnology as this pandemic is spreading, and there are no boundaries, right, anymore. We have boundaries like US, Canada, Mexico, or across the ocean, Europe, or Africa and Asia. But this pandemic is swiping the globe. They don't care about the boundaries anymore. So everyone will be affected, or affected indirectly or indirectly, because we are part of a community. So we need development in many areas, not only vaccines. We need involvement in data analysis, how to provide knowledge to the community such that community is geared, prepared. Because if we are not geared, then we can have major economic losses. And it's very important to keep tab on the biotechnology, especially biology, and biology affects health. Demonstrate the knowledge of positive impacts of modern biotech. So all what I said are those things that impacts positively. And there could be negative impact also when people start using, for example, bacteria can be used for making vaccines, for accelerating vaccines, right? But bacteria could also be used for bioterrorism or some other kind of effect that can affect a population, right? Because bacteria can spread very fast or viruses can affect very fast. So positive impact as well as negative impact. Uh, discuss the main issues. The point number 6, discuss the main issues related to biotechnology, regulation, and patents. Right? So think about this vaccine, right? This vaccine must have occurred to somebody. So this mRNA-based, so Moderna and Pfizer, they all are giving mRNA-based vaccine. So use of mRNA as a platform to make vaccine is very novel, right? So it must have occurred to somebody as a simple idea, and then this scientific company or scientists, they must have tested this phenomena of mRNA whether they can be made into a vaccine candidate, right, or vaccine modality, and then then a person who got this idea should secure the idea. It should not be given to the person who got this idea, who developed this product, should get the benefit, should get the acknowledgement, right? It's a competitive world. People can take anybody's idea, can take anybody's product and say that it is mine. So there has to be a credit to the person who is the inventor, who is the discoverer. So that has to be regulated, right? And the person who got the idea and who made first vaccine, they have to, they have to be recognized, and their work has to be patented. So that also we cover in this course. Point number 7: demonstrate the understanding and ability to identify and evaluate the current issues of biotechnology. As the society is growing, as the technology is developing, there will be some accomplishment, there will be more challenges, right? And the challenges could come from different geographical location, different the growing population. So and how the society reacts to something. So there are many aspects where we can talk about what are the current issues of biotechnology. And also when you get to know the fundamental knowledge, how you can apply your fundamental knowledge, then this is how do you improve your knowledge, right? So one way I tell that, okay, genetic engineering, DNA is the genetic material. But on the other hand, I'm saying that, okay, humans have genetic material as DNA, but why viruses may not have. Viruses could have RNA, and that RNA could be of different type, for example, in HIV and COVID-19. So another way of improving your knowledge is critical thinking, right? Whether you are understanding, right? So self-testing, right? So, for example, I'm teaching to you. I've reviewed the syllabus. I'm explaining this syllabus to you in the background of this pandemic, right? So that's because I am thinking, right? And I'm just not reading and telling what it is. I'm trying to innovate the syllabus, try to make the syllabus interesting, informative, right? So that you can get as much as possible out of this course, and then you develop your own thinking, and thinking will not only enhance your knowledge but also make you feel better about various decisions that you may have to take about anything. And then writing, to insert a writing intensive course, that I'll come back to the assignment, come back when I talk about this course more. So there are 9 student learning objectives here in this course that I went through with you one by one. Now book here. So this is the book. Let me show this book on the internet, on Amazon. This is readily available. Just a second, and I will share the screen. So this is the book that is available to you in various forms, Kindle and paperback also. And so this is the book that is needed for this course, right? So now going back to the syllabus. So this is the book, Sharon Walker, Biotechnology, Demystified by McGraw-Hill from New York. Right? And there are some, after this book, there are some articles listed here. These are small articles. We may not, if we have time, we will cover these articles, but we will certainly cover these articles once we reach a certain point in the syllabus, and this articles will be shared with you in in the discussion board. So I'll put this article and ask you questions. So these are very small articles, they're not complicated articles. So let's then discuss about the grading. So this is what here is the grading here. So homework and assignments would be 20%. And the moment I finish a chapter, there will be an assignment. And as I mentioned to you, this is a winter session, the class, very short. For example, in semesters, we have many weeks, but this is starting on January 3rd and finishing on January 24th. So assuming that the final exam will be on January 24th, we have only very few 2 weeks or maybe a little bit more than between 2 to 3 weeks, and we have to cover the syllabus. So almost every day we will be making advances with each chapter, and when I finish one chapter or upload one chapter on the Blackboard in this asynchronous settings, you will be given an assignment. An assignment has a deadline. Why I'm saying deadline? Because I have to grade the assignment also, right? And there are almost 39 to 40 students in this class, and time is very tight. So there has to be a deadline for each assignment. Otherwise, it will be a problem for you that if I don't grade you because there's no discipline. So there will be a deadline for each assignment. So you have to be on top of these assignments and deadline, and they're 20%. So assignment is totally in your hands, right? You can do it, and it's not like quiz where you have to be tested. You just have to refer book, internet, or wherever, slides, and this 20% is in your hands. So make most of it. Then the discussion board, I will be posting a discussion board every day or alternate days, and you have to address those issues, address those questions on the discussion board. It will be very simple. It will not be very, but yes, you have to demonstrate that you are participating in the class. See, right now there are only 3 or 4 students in the class, and total number of student is around 39. So only 2 or 3 students are there in this class right now. How do I know that students are participating, right? So discussion board serves as a platform for participation, and so there won't be a complicated questions. It will be straightforward, but yes, there will be a deadline for this. Quizzes, what I mentioned here, bi-weekly, weekly and bi-weekly, um, it could be daily or alternate day. This weekly and bi-weekly is actually daily so I have to go back and fix this. So this is a syllabus that I modified today morning, and so I would say quizzes daily or alternate days. So So quizzes will be daily or alternate day, 10%. Midterm, I would expect to be around 16th January when you have a long weekend, Martin Luther King Day. That long weekend will be before or after we will have the midterm exam. Then a term paper is I'll talk about term paper tomorrow. That is due on 21st, which is Friday, and 22nd and 23rd are the weekend, Saturday and Sundays. So 21st is the 24th is the Monday where you have your final exam. 21st January is Friday, where you're to submit the term paper. The details of the term paper, the guidelines, I will upload on the Blackboard tomorrow. Then we have the final exam, which will be on January 24th, yes. These are the grading scales, which is CUNY-wide, so if we go back, right, so 20% assignments, which is in your hand, 10% discussion board, so total 30%, and then term paper, 15%. So 30 plus 10 and 15, 45% is in your hands actually. So students may think, why term paper? But it sort of gives you a room to get as much as possible as in compared to just giving exams, right? So just to level the playing field, that not everything is thrusted on the exams or quizzes or midterm, but as an assignment, discussion board, and term paper. So total of 45% is in your hand. And you can get in total A grade very easily in these assignment, discussion board, and term paper, and then you can focus on your exams. So as I mentioned, I'm not going into any policy because this is asynchronous. We are not meeting one-to-one or during a face-to-face. But yes, one of the major policy is that you have to beat the deadlines for assignment or term paper, right? You don't have to attend classes, but you have to be on top of the announcement. And I post everything on the Blackboard. Right? So again, what is mentioned here as week 1, week 2, it will be day 1, day 2, as this is winter session. So I will edit this and I'll upload the updated syllabus. Okay, so first day, so we are talking about syllabus, we are talking about biotechnology, history of biotechnology, and then what are the careers I said that, health and healthcare will be the prime, of this century. And, pandemic is not going to wipe up very quickly. It will take some time. Right, so these are the syllabus. What I mentioned to you to here as week, these are the daily basis. So tomorrow we'll talk about macromolecules of life, right? And then we could talk about cells, how cells divide, how cells communicate on day 2 or day 3. So let me, while I'm talking to you, I will try to edit the syllabus, and I will try to upload that on the Blackboard. So what is mentioned here as week, I'll put here as days 1 and 2, then day 3, day 4, day 5 will be pattern of inheritance. Day 6 will be we'll be talking about recombinant DNA technology. Day 7 we talk about protein biotechnology. Biotechnology in agriculture, we talk on day 8. Now, although I mentioned day 8th, day 9th, but I'm pretty flexible about this. And so day 9, what I'm mentioning could be day 10, day 11. My intention is to spend time on each chapter, and since we are this is a winter session, so so it will be on every daily basis. 13, day 14, we talk about forensics and DNA profiling. Day 15 and 16. So this is how the syllabus is planned. Okay, so right now I will stop sharing and I will welcome any questions you may have. Hello class.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions?
Nah.
Okay. And if you have any question, then I encourage you to attend office hours. I'll try to respond to email as early as possible, but sometimes emails do not reach me, so, office hours I'm available. So if there are no questions, then can I stop this recording? And to stop this recording, I have to end this session. Okay? Students?
Yeah.
I have to finish this meeting to get the recording, into YouTube and all those things.
Okay.
So if there are no questions, can we end this class?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much. I'll come back again, but I have to restore this recording, okay? I'll come back again, but I have to make sure that everything that has been recorded has been converted into YouTube. So after 5 minutes, within 5 minutes, I'll be back on the Zoom. All right. Thank you.